March for Our Lives mean? To some, it means a bunch of kids who don't know what they want or why they're protesting. But in fact, it means that we are a group of young adults who are tired of avoiding certain topics just to evade conflict. The majority of us are mere months away from being eligible to vote, and we are scared. Woo! We grew up learning that just because something happens does not mean you aren't to talk about it. This has caused us to become a very close-minded society. So March for Our Lives does not mean anti-gun or anti-Second Amendment. It means pro-change and pro-discussion. In 1938, the Consumer Product Safety Commission and the Food and Drug Administration made the sale and purchase of foods in bed with objects that are non-nutritive illegal for the U.S. Come the mid-1970s, this meant that Kinder Eggs were illegal. In 2011 alone, 60,000 Kinder Eggs were seized by U.S. Customs and Border Protection. Anyone caught smuggling a Kinder Egg surprise into the United States could be fined up to $2,500 and potentially detained. The reason for the eggs being strictly illegal is due to the fact that small children can choke on them, despite the outside reading, warning, choking hazard, small parts, not suitable for children. Nearly 50 years later, and the United States allows the sale of the Kinder Egg in the United States. Both halves are sealed, one side has chocolate and one side contains the toy. It is not the same as the Kinder Surprise, those are still illegal. The United States is so strict as to ban a candy that has caused only 3 deaths in 50 years worldwide, if only guns were as dangerous as these eggs. My card's away. Why is it easier for an 18-year-old to obtain a gun than it is to obtain a chocolate egg with a toy inside? From 1999 to 2015, there were 533,880 gun deaths. It is 3 years after these statistics were published, and numbers have only skyrocketed. A well-regulated militia being necessary to keep the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. This is the Second Amendment as written in the Constitution in 1791 by James Madison. The purpose of this amendment originally being created was to give citizens the opportunity to fight back against a tyrannical government force. In 1791, the most common type of guns were muskets and flintlock pistols. These weapons have an effective shooting range of up to 350 feet. They can only carry 1 round at a time, and they take 1 to 2 minutes to reload. An AR-15 or Armalite rifle was created in the 1950s and then marketed to the United States as a superb hunting partner in 1963. The weapon has an effective shooting range of up to 1,970 feet. It can carry 30 to 100 rounds at a time with the help of a magazine, and it can shoot 45 rounds per minute, and it takes 3 to 10 seconds to reload. Based on these statistics, if mass shooters used the guns that the Founding Fathers had in mind when they wrote the Second Amendment, it would take them hours to ruin the lives that they are now able to do in just seconds. The AR-15 was marketed as a superb hunting partner, but it was not intended to hunt our mothers, fathers, brothers, sisters, friends, and certainly not our classmates. 7,000 children have died from gun violence in the United States alone since Sandy Hook in 2012. This is more than the amount of U.S. soldiers who have died in combat since 2001. 1,300 children were killed and 1,300 children are killed every year, and 5,790 are wounded every year by gun violence. How is this protecting our children? People own guns for self-defense, but a survey in 2012 showed that for every 1 justifiable gun-related homicide case, there are 38 firearm deaths that are not in self-defense. We are so worried about defending ourselves in this country that we've become the aggressors ourselves. The Founding Fathers wrote the Second Amendment in order for civilians to fight back against our government had it ever gotten to that point. What they did not anticipate is this every man for themselves, lure of the flies-esque mentality we have in today's society, where people feel the need to own semi-automatic rifles just to defend themselves in their own homes. In addition to this, another survey showed that only 40% of gun-owning parents said that they store their firearms locked and unloaded away from their kids. Only 40%. And only 1 state requires firearms to be kept locked, and now that state, Massachusetts, has the lowest gun-related death of all 50 states. Variants of the AR-15 and weapons alike are unnecessary in weighing us down as a society. There is no reason a student fresh out of high school should be able to purchase these monstrous guns. They are not for self-defense, they are for killing and slaughtering. Most of us don't understand what we're going to do with the rest of our lives. How on earth are we expected to understand the complex responsibility that comes with owning a Labrador, let alone a semi-automatic assault rifle?
Right.
In Georgia, you do not need a permit to own such rifles. You do not have to take a class or a written test, and you do not have to register it. As long as you're 18, you're allowed to walk into a store and come out with as many military-style weapons as your credit card will allow you. It is cheaper and certainly easier to purchase a weapon of war than it is to buy a smartphone. On February 14, 2017, a tragedy occurred. 14 students and three faculty members of Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School kissed their loved ones goodbye and headed off to school. They were unaware this would be their last time. One flaw we have in remembering mass shootings is not honoring the victims the way they deserve. I'm sure everyone here can name the Parkland shooting, but why is he the one we remember and not those who were killed trying to better their education? We should be remembering their names and saying their names, because they are the reason we are all up here. And they are the last 17 lives that should ever be lost on school grounds. Alyssa Aldehef, 14 years old. She played soccer and liked creative writing. Alyssa Aldehef.
Say their name!
Scott Beagle, 35. He was a geography teacher and a cross-country coach, and he died unlocking the doors for students to hide. Scott Beagle.
Say their name!
Nicholas DeWarrett, 17 years old, planned to attend the University of Indianapolis, and he had ambitions to be an Olympic swimmer. Nicholas DeWarrett.
Say their names!
Martin Decay, 14, born in Mexico, he was in JRTC, and he loved Star Wars. Martin Decay.
Say their names!
Aaron Fayes, 37, a football coach. He died shielding students from bullets with his own body. Aaron Fayes.
Say their names!
Jamie Guttenberg, 14. Her brother went to the same school, and she was kind and compassionate. Jamie Guttenberg.
Say their names!
Chris Hickson, 49. He was a wrestling coach and the athletic director, and he died after rushing to the scene to help injured students. Chris Hickson.
Say their names!
Luke Hoyer, 15. He played basketball and was an NBA fan. Luke Hoyer.
Say their names!
Kara Lowren, 14. She loved Irish dancing. Kara Lowren.
Say their names!
Gina Montaldo, 14. She was a member of the marching band. Gina Montaldo.
Say their names!
Joaquin Oliver, 17. He moved here from Venezuela when he was 3 years old. He wrote poetry. And Dwayne Wade from the Miami Heat now has Joaquin's name sketched on his sneakers because that was his favorite player. Joaquin Oliver.
Say their names!
Alina Petty, 14. She was a JRTC.
But I was also my
after Hurricane Irma. Alina Petty.
Say their names!
Meadow Pollock, 18. The youngest of 10 grandchildren and plans to attend Lynn University in Florida. Meadow Pollock.
Say their names!
Helena Ramsey, 17 years old, helped her friend by telling her to shield her head with a book. Helena Ramsey.
Say their names!
Alex Schatcher, 14. He played trombone in the marching band. Alex Schatcher.
Say their names!
Carmen Trenchup. She was 16 and a senior and a National Merit Scholarship finalist, but she will never know that because a letter came in the mail the day after she was killed. Carmen Trenchup.
Say their names!
Peter Wang. He was 15 years old in JRTC, and his family owned a Chinese restaurant. He died holding the door open for people to escape the building. Peter Wang.
Say their names!
One more person has died this week in a school shooting. I have her name on my phone. I'm sorry, it was so sudden. Her parents had to make the awful decision that no parent should ever have to make Thursday when they took her off of life support because she was brain dead from being shot. Her name is Jalen Wiley.
Say their names!